Chanel seems to not be the only brand that has issues with quality. Of course, other luxury brands also have issues with quality nowadays, but there's a plot twist. Because as most of us know who have been shopping with Chanel for a long time, a lot of us have had issues with their after-sales care. So it turns out other brands have issues with after-sales care as well. Prada, looking at ya. What did you do, Prada? Well, let's get to it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. superdacob all spelled together there as well for extra perks. Thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. Thank you to my co-chatters who are here on the sidebar. I'm reading y'all's. Are you ready for this? Listen. One of my wonderful members / mods and friends, Jesus from the Fashion Bunker, sent me this video from TikTok because he also knows that I've had my issues with TikTok lately, but he's like, I found something interesting. So he sends me a link to a video by Janna Alexis 8. Janna Alexis 8. I'm going to post the link to the video down below, so go follow this lovely lady on TikTok. Okay, it's a video. It's a 3-minute long video. I'm not going to show you the video, but I'm going to tell you what it's all about. We're going to get to it really quickly. So basically, let me first cue in the picture. I want to cue in the picture here on the side. This is the lovely Janna Alexis. And this is a Prada bag that she has. Okay, this is a relatively new TikTok video. Now, she has this Prada bag that she bought in Europe. I do believe in Italy or somewhere in Europe, she says in her video. So you can see the handle right here. So in the video, she's moving it. You can see that actually what it appears to be is the handle in like the famous Prada Saffiano leather. Let me put on my Chanel gloves for that, y'all. Can we talk? Okay, so we have this little issue here with the peel. It almost looks like a snake that's shedding skin. Like, what is this? It's a Prada leather bag, Saffiano leather, because here you see the texture of the Saffiano leather in particular, that Prada is famous for. And it seems like it's coated with like plastic. And it's peeling. It's like literally just peeling off. What the hell is this? It's like literally peeling off. And so she said she used the bag just a handful of times. It's literally peeling. The top coat of the bag is shedding. Y'all, it's not like Prada sold her a snake bag, a python bag, the polka players. It's not like they sold her an exotic bag and the snake is shedding, even though, you know, that don't happen once the snake is dead. But anyway, and of course, she's like not in Italy anymore, not in Europe anymore. She's back in the States. And now she's like, what do I do? You know, what do I do? So she made several videos about this. But anyway, long story short, she finds a Prada boutique relatively close to where she is. And she brings the bag to them and they say, oh, this is difficult. We don't know how to do it. I mean, you know, we could send it off for repairs because obviously your warranties, you know, worldwide. But you didn't buy the bag in America. You bought it in another country. And so they send it off for repairs and they say, no, it might take up to 6 months. You know, the whole shtick, how all of these luxury brands do. So I think she mentioned in her video about 2 months past. Oh, by the way, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged, just my opinion. So I quote, and I might be wrong about the months, around 2 months in, she contacts the boutique or goes back to the boutique and says, hey guys, have you received my bag? Like, has it been repaired? Like, what gives, you know? Can I have an update on my bag? What is happening? The lady that she was talking to in the boutique, by the way, she says that the lady was not very polite to her. She says the lady is kind of looking at her tablet or whatever device to check the bag, to check, you know, the number of the repair or whatever. And Janna catches a glimpse of what the screen says about her bag. The screen on the Prada gadget says not repairable, like in red, not repairable. So this sales associate says, oh yeah, the bag arrived, it's repaired. And Janna is like, Okay, I just managed to catch a glimpse with my side eye that it's not repairable. But anyway, so the lady goes back to the back, and Jenna says at this point she's waiting like 20, 30 minutes. The woman is not coming back. Finally, she comes back. She says, here you go. Bag is repaired. Pulls it out, gives it to her. Jenna's like, hold on a minute. Let me check. So she checks the bag, and the bag is not repaired. She's like, it's not repaired. There's a flaw in the bag. It's still there. And the woman says, no, it's repaired. She's like, no, open your device again. I literally read on your device that it said it's not repairable. So then the sales associate opens it. She's like, yeah, okay, so it's not repairable. So we can't do anything. We can't do anything with the bag. You didn't buy it here. We don't know. Where's your receipt? Where's your receipt? She's like, the receipt is in the bag when I gave it to you when you sent it off for repairs. Check in the bag. And I thought, this is for me, red alarm bells went off. I'm like, never leave your receipt. Never leave your original receipt with the bag when you're giving it to the brand for repairs. You keep your original receipt. They make a copy of it for themselves. You never leave the original receipt inside the bag. Very, very big mistake. So that was kind of weird that Jenna said that the original receipt was in the bag. But oh well. So the sales associate opens the bag. There's no receipt in the bag. There was only a proof of purchase that Jenna could provide, but no receipt. So then she says, well, we can't do anything. And then Jenna's like, well, can I speak to the manager? And she's like, okay. And then the manager comes. And then the manager's like, we can't do anything because we don't know. You don't have the receipt for the bag. We don't know how much you spent for the bag. We don't have the proof of how much you spent for it. The prices are different, let's say, in Europe than they are in America. So we can't do anything. She's like, but it's like, it's Prada. Like, it's a Prada bag. Bought a Prada. Like, what do you mean you can't do anything? So he goes into the back, and a long time later, he comes out again and offers her, I think, $3,500 store credit or something like that. At which point he shows her this long email that he wrote to corporate, and corporate apparently answered him in that entire period while he was in the back and she was waiting in the front, and it was all a big mess. And then he comes back and says, I could offer you $3,500, give or take, something like that. And she said, I don't know what to do, you guys, because that's less than what I paid for the bag. He could offer me that, I think, in store credit. I don't know if he told her like he could just give her the money back. I think in store credit. She's like, now if I want to buy the same bag, I have to pay on top if I want the same bag again, because they're not giving me the same amount back. Like, it's so insane. Caleb says in the chats, all the hoops are so ridiculous. Right? Tina is like, OMG. Debbie's like, oh. Like, David is asking, okay, like, how much power do they have, like the sales associates? Well, the sales associates probably just following rules and regulations. But when a store manager is called in and the store manager is like not giving you the worth of... Listen, my personal opinion here, and this is just my opinion, that's the bag. If this bag is still available in the current season when it's flawed and I'm taking it... if I bought it in Italy and it was flawed and I live in America and I came back to America when I found out it was flawed and I'm bringing it back to Prada America, and the bag costs $1,000 in Prada America, that's Prada's issue, not my issue. That's Prada's issue. If this is, as the repaired little online giblet on their tablet said, not repairable, if the bag is not repairable and it's still under warranty, you either give me the same bag new, again, if it's still available, or you give me the corresponding worth back. Like, it's that simple. But no. Prada gave her inferior cost, allegedly, from what she's saying, from what Jenna is saying, inferior worth back, less than what she spent on it. And she's like, well, now I gotta add money on top if I want the bag again. Kuro says they really should have replaced the bag with the same or similar bag. Kristen says, Michael Kors Saffiano leather is cheaper and better quality. That's pathetic, Prada. Carrie says, Prada is Prada. The receipts should be in the Prada system regardless. Thank you for mentioning this, Carrie, because I do believe that Jana in her video also says, like, hey, Prada is Prada. Like, don't you have the receipts? Like, you should see. Now, you know, some of these companies do have different headquarters and different kind of bases in different continents, different countries with different laws, regulations, different customer laws, customer protection laws. So it could be that in America, they might not be able to see the purchase history of the European Prada shops. Could be, giving them the benefit of the doubt. But We don't really know because I don't know Prada's system. So they might be able to actually have access to purchase history in Europe, but they also might not. I do not know this. But yes, I do believe that in the video, correct me if I'm wrong, Jana does say, hey, it's Prada. You should be able to see how much this bag costs in Italy. So anyway, she took the money or the voucher, the budget. You guys, and this is just to show you, this similar situation happens in Chanel, you know? But it's not just in Chanel. It also happens in other places. And I think this has really come to a point where every week now we get so many examples of these brands failing us over and over and over again, but demanding so much money, but then failing us. Remember what happened to me in the Chanel 22 bag? Peeling. A $5,000 bag peeling 20 minutes after wearing it for the first time ever. What happened to me with the Rick Owens leather boots that were $1,000? After 6 times wearing them, the entire sole collapsed in itself. Almost broke a hip falling. Had to fight to get my money back. It's come to a point where you know what? At this point, it's like, okay, you know, let's just stick to vintage. Because I don't know if it was the pandemic that made this happen. What is it that all of a sudden, you know, since 2020, as we went through the pandemic, and now we're kind of out of it, it's like leather isn't leather anymore. Everything is plastified. Everything is so flimsy. Everything is falling apart after just like looking at it. And yet the brands have upped their prices astronomically. Some of these luxury brands have tripled their prices even. But what for? Oh, rise of costs, rise of labor, costs of raw materials. What raw materials? What is this? You made a bag out of Kellogg's cornflakes with a little bit of plastic to cover it. And now it's like you fart and the bag disintegrates. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like who, I mean, it literally feels like a scam to me at this point. Most of these brands feels like a scam. It's like no matter what you do, no matter how much money you give them, you're always wrong. You always made the mistake. They always make you feel like shit when you bring something back that is flawed, because this is a flaw. Okay? And then you bring it back, and then they're like, you mistreated this bag. This is your fault. Ma che cazzo stai a di? Listen, Prada, amo, Miuccia, I saw you. Now I know why Miuccia Prada ran on that Met Gala red carpet. You remember this 2023 Met Gala? Miuccia was like, she like ran through it. She did not give one single interview. I wonder why, Miuccia. Is it because you were ashamed and you were like, oh, I'm not taking any interviews because I don't want to talk about this. Miuccia. Ci siamo capiti, eh? Miuccia, non fare così. Questo non deve succedere. Mai. E se succede, dovete rimborsare la ragazza perché... Okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Go follow this wonderful lady on TikTok. I'm going to post a link down below. And this is just yet another example of luxury mishaps nowadays. And then it was the year 2023 where luxury was not luxury anymore. Thank you so much for watching. Thoughts down below. Love you loads. Subscribe and thumb up the video. Bye. Mwah.